Welcome to Ask a Pro. I am so excited today to have Chris Rood back from my home state, Louisiana, down there where people keep it simple. You hungry? You go to the freaking canal, you go to the side of the road and you get you some crawdads if the time of the year is right. Chris is in the interesting real estate space, but he's figured out a little niche of it, flipping deals, what he calls wholesaling.
And wholesaling.
And wholesaling, okay? He actually doesn't own the real estate. What he does is he buys a contract. He basically, you don't actually buy the contract, you control the contract.
Correct.
So, Chris, great to have you here, buddy.
Thank you, Grant.
Love meeting you about a year ago. He got one of my big whiteboards, took it back to Lafayette with him. And father of 5, been with his wife for 18 years. Real estate investor, you own what? How many properties you own now?
We're on about 30 properties right now.
Okay. What's the value of those properties?
About $9 million.
Nice, man. How old are you?
36.
36. $9 million. You're way ahead of where I was when I was 36 years old. So tell me, why would somebody do what you're doing?
Great question. So, a lot of people don't have a ton of cash to get into, say, multifamily, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you don't have a ton of cash, there's a way to get into real estate, by flipping contracts, getting a property.
Okay, but so help me out here. A contract on what though? What am I getting a contract on?
So basically what you're marketing for motivated sellers.
Okay.
So
single family homes, apartments,
anything,
duplexes?
Anything. I wholesale 16 units, single family homes, duplexes, anything. So you market, right? The marketing goes out, say, bandit signs, Facebook ads.
Yeah.
All that marketing goes out.
So you run an ad on Facebook, on your page or wherever, and give me an example of what it would say. You want to sell your house?
Yeah, sell your house fast, going through a divorce, lost your job, job transfer, behind on the mortgage, pre-foreclosure.
Good, now he's got the whole list. He's hitting all the pain points. So you're going to bang, hey, you behind, don't want to take care of tenants, have problems with your property, okay, so.
Right, so the marketing goes out to those guys. The leads come in.
Okay.
I filter the leads. I'm listening over the phone for what? Motivation.
You have people answering the phone calls?
Yeah, I answer the phone calls.
Okay, you answer, okay.
Yeah, I answer the phone calls. Then, I'm asking a series of questions, going through a script.
Okay.
And I'm listening, for people that, have problems, right? I always tell my students, problems equals motivation equals deals. All you have to do is find people that have problems and solve their problems.
Everybody's got them, man.
They all got problems.
Everybody's got them.
It's a beautiful thing because there's a lot of people out there that want to sell their house fast. They don't want to use a realtor because they need a quick sale. Mm-hmm. And they're willing to trade out equity in exchange for a fast sale. For time. Yeah, equity for time.
So the guy says, hey, yeah, I'm in, dude. I want to sell my house. That you're not actually going to buy it. So how do you make the transition now into controlling the contract and then selling that to somebody else?
Right. So I get the house under contract, heavily discounted, say for 60 cents on the dollar.
Okay.
I market the contract to an investor, an end buyer, a cash buyer, for a fee, an assignment fee of say $5, $10, $15, $20, even $30,000, whatever. It depends on how much.
So let me take an example. Let's say the house is worth $70,000. You're going to buy it for $42,000. You're not buying it. You're not trading time.
Right.
You're trading confidence.
Exactly.
So you have a contract says, I'll give you $42,000 over what period of time? Now, like, when is this going to happen?
Typically 30 to 60 days. Okay. They'll give me time to market the contract.
And they know you're not buying it. They know you're going to sell it.
Correct. Well, it depends. Sometimes I will buy it, like on a wholesale deal, which we can get into that later. If it's real beefy, if there's say $80,000 in equity, I'm going to close on that baby and I'm going to throw it right back on MLS with my wife. That's a wholesale. But the wholesale, I'm not in love with the deal, but it's still real nice.
But
deal.
There's some money to be made.
There's some money to be made.
And a doctor or a chiropractor, somebody's going to buy this house and say, I'm going to make some money with it.
Exactly. I'll go ahead and assign my rights to the contract for 10, 15 grand to them.
Yeah, so you'll just be like, hey, I'll assign this $42,000 contract, give me a $10,000 fee.
Yep.
I mean, how do you negotiate with that? Is that a problem?
Not really. I mean, if you know your numbers, you talk about this all the time, know your numbers.
They don't care if you make 10 grand if they're going to make 30.
Yeah, if they're buying a property for 70 cents on the dollar, who cares if I made 10 grand? They don't care. They bought it right. And I bought it even better. And I just capture that in between, the equity.
Yeah. So, okay, so the people that are watching right now, this is Chris Rood. His website's chrisrood.com. I have him on Ask the Pro because he's doing something I tell you to do. If you don't have the money to get in the real estate game, like we do accredited investors at Cardone Capital, so many of you are like, man, I'm not accredited. I have 100 grand. I can't take you as an investor yet. It's not me, it's the government. It's just a restriction by the government. It's not me. I would take everybody's money if you had a good attitude and you love real estate. I can't because of the government. So blame your government, call your congressman. He can get you in a position where you're earning enough money. Maybe you got a job paying you $80,000 a year and you're doing 2 or 3 or 4 flips a year. The next thing you know, you're making 200 grand a year for 2 years and now you're qualified. Or you don't have money to buy deals.
Right.
So he's going to show you how to start using the real estate play, the flip play. What's the downside? Because people are watching and saying, look, it can't be this easy.
Well, the downside would be it takes a certain skill set. I tell all of my students, skills get the deals. You got to have good, you got to know how to sell. You got to know how to negotiate, and you got to know how to close people. Because you're negotiating with people who are having problems, and they're in a weak moment. And you really got to understand people and talk to them, and be a people person.
Yeah.
So
is the closing the deal harder with the guy you're getting a contract from, or selling it to the dentist, the chiropractor, or the investor?
Great question. It's tougher to get the deal. Selling a deal, if it's a deal, anybody's going to buy it as long as it's a deal. It's really really building rapport, connecting with the homeowner enough to where they'll trust you and really want to do business with you.
And why didn't the investor go straight to the homeowner? Why Chris Rood? Why do you come in between?
Because there's a lot of time and effort that goes into wholesaling, because you have to spend the money on marketing.
Right.
You get a lot of phone calls. A lot of them are they're really not quality leads. You have to filter through all those. So it's not all the calls are going to be qualified. So not a lot of investors.
Not enough pain.
Yeah, I mean, somebody like
the spread's not there.
Exactly, and somebody like you wouldn't better just go and try to find all these deals. It takes a lot of time. Right. So they come to me, hey Chris, I heard you got deals. Put me on your buyers list, man. I hear you got deals. So I do all the legwork, and they pay me handsomely for it. Because I'm putting the time in to find the deals, capture all that equity and value from the homeowners, and selling the value and equity to an end buyer, which is an investor.
Yeah. So he's capturing the equity. Okay, you understand what this means? One of the first books I read about money was there's a lot of different ways to make money. You can get a cup or a bottle, manufacture it, sell it, and get money for it. Or the big money people skip the product step. And they go money to money. The fastest way to make money is money to money. He's using a product without ever owning it, without putting himself at risk, right?
Yep.
Without getting a loan.
Nothing.
So, but you're back to a sales game now.
Yeah.
You're back to making a contact, finding a problem, sitting down with somebody. What was your biggest challenge when you got started?
Good question. My biggest challenge would be, really having to connect with the homeowner, because a lot of these people are going through pre-foreclosure and really caring about the people, and it's not that I have problems caring about people. I really enjoy like talking to people and building rapport, but not a lot of wholesalers are willing to sit down with a homeowner for an hour to get to know them. That's the key. It's a secret. You have to sit there and really get to know them and build the rapport before they'll actually want to do business with you. And I noticed when I first started doing this, you got to really sit down and really massage them, really, I understand, I'm here to help you. I want to help you get out of your situation. And that's really
And so what kind of experiences have you had in that? Like people angry at you because they have a problem?
Yeah, they're going to be all over emotionally.
Right.
You don't know what you're going into. They just got a divorce. The wife just left and just found they were cheating, and I need to sell my house fast, or I just lost my job. I'm 2 months behind. How can you help me? People cry to me.
And then they feel like you're going to take advantage of them possibly now, right?
Yes, exactly. And you have to really, really sit down and say, look, ma'am, I'm here to help you, and really build that connection and really help them,
So you run it. Well, how much money are we talking about spending on ads to generate enough traffic for you to get the first deal? Like what the viewer that's watching, never done a deal before, what do they got to spend?
To get started, minimum, you could probably do it with $1,000 a month. And if you really hustled and put out sweat equity, you could probably do it for $500. But typically, if you really want to crush the game, you need to spend like $5-10 grand a month in marketing. But you can. So
let's say I spend $1,000.
Yeah.
What kind of response would I hope to get from that?
That $1,000 could probably turn into $15-20 grand a month.
But how many leads first? Because
on $1,000, you could probably generate About 50 good quality leads.
50 leads,
Yeah.
okay. And then now I have to go visit these people, call these people.
Call them.
So what I'm doing now is I'm basically just mapping out the amount of energy I got to put into the deal, because I'm basically stealing his know-how. Ask the pro. I steal his know-how and say, hey, what model? Okay, 50 leads. I got to call or visit, or probably call and say, hey, I want to come by and see you.
Right.
I'm a buyer of your home.
Yep.
How do you do that if you already have a job, dude? When am I making these calls? At night?
You can do that at night. I mean, you really could. I mean, because the leads come in, you send them to a Google Voice, they leave a message, you get off of work, you can just call them after work, and I give you a script, which it pretty much helps you listen for motivation, find out if they have equity, make sure there's even a deal there.
So you're going to qualify the lead.
Qualify the lead.
For what? What am I qualifying for?
Motivation, equity.
Motivation. So he's like, yeah, I owe 75 grand on the house. You know the market. So you got to know the market.
Know your numbers, yeah.
There's a lot to know here, dude.
Yeah.
How do I do this? How do I, like let's say I'm a single mother, I got 2 kids, I got a job full time. How do I learn the market, get the leads, run the ad, how much to spend, when I'm going to make the phone calls? I mean, this sounds almost impossible.
Not at all. I mean, once you do this.
Is it impossible?
No, not at all. Once you do this long enough, it's like riding a bike, Grant. I mean, I can almost go in a neighborhood and say, okay, that house in this neighborhood goes for $100 a square foot. That house in this neighborhood goes for $80 a square foot.
But how long did it take you to learn that?
Literally maybe 4 months, 3 to 4 months max. Because you do it and you just know it. That's when you grow up in a town that you know the streets, the cities, the neighborhoods, and then you start pulling comps with a realtor, and you just start knowing, you know.
Right. But how does somebody get started? Like when you got started doing this, how long ago was it?
2 years.
Okay, so 2 years ago, what were you doing before you were doing the wholesaling, flipping, tripping?
So I owned a chain of quick lube car wash and mechanic shops in my town.
Okay.
And I wanted to get into real estate. So it took me literally, I mean, I about maybe a month or 2 to really start crushing it. It didn't take me long. I mean, I caught on really quick. Now I had a bunch of real estate before. I had a real estate background. Like
but you had the experience running a business, thinking like a business person.
Correct.
I mean, who is this not for then? Like
the shy, timid, quiet person. You know, you got to have people skills. You got to be willing to talk to people. You know.
I always say, man, it all comes down to a sales game.
It is. Everything is sales, and that's what I tell my students, like, people skills, man. Like, skills get the deals. Like, learn how to sell, learn how to talk to people. If you can do that, you can crush this game. And I think that's why I was able to excel so fast. But look, like I tell my students, selling, just like that selling is a learnable trait. You know?
Right.
You know, pick up Cardone you. I mean, you can learn it.
Yeah, just like finding the deals. It's going to take some time and energy to do some research. Robert, what are we on break? Robert wants me to go to break right now, but I'm with Chris Rood, and I'm just like, I don't want to be rude. Right? I want to learn this game. I like this. I'm going to tell you, if I was 30 years old today and I'm out there and I got a job, I'm selling automobiles like I was, and I'm like, hey man, I could go make $10,000 on a contract. I could do that 3 times a month. I know there's people in every economy that need to get out of their house, that have problems, they go through divorces, but you got to do some work.
Yeah,
you're not going to make another 30 grand a month. And it's not going to be work. I mean, there might be somebody online telling you how to make 30 grand a month without working. I guarantee it's a scam. Stay with us. You're watching Ask a Pro with Grant Cardone TV. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast you're listening to, the Stitcher you're stitching, the YouTube you're Ewing, hey, make sure you do that right now. We'll be right back.
Want to learn how to invest in real estate like Grant Cardone, but you don't have the cash to invest yet? Reach out to Chris Rood and his team, where he will show you how to invest in real estate to build cash without credit or much money by learning how to wholesale real estate. We'll show you the right way to build cash so you can invest in multifamily apartments and other real estate investments like Grant Cardone. Reach out to @Chris Rood Entrepreneur on Facebook now.
Welcome back to Ask the Pro with Grant Cardone. I have Chris Rood. We're talking about wholesaling, flipping. We're talking about dipping in on some money. We're talking about second incomes. In his case, he had a bunch of Jiffy Lubes.
Correct.
What were they called?
Quick lube,
Quick lube,
shops.
Jiffy Lube. The dude's in the lube business. He's in the freaking wholesaling business. Like, you always on the freaking edges here, man. Been married 18 years, got 5 kids. He's committed. Okay. Right? Yeah. So now I got to pay for these kids. So he's in the wholesaling business. He basically finds somebody that wants to sell their property, a house, a duplex, a hotel. We'll talk about that later. Goes in, finds out there's some spread in the equity.
Correct.
Right? Between what they owe and what you might be able to sell that contract for if you had the right buyer.
Right.
And then you negotiate with them. Tell me about a deal you're working on or you've done, and we're going to take it step by step.
So we got a deal that we just got under contract about 2 weeks ago. We got under contract for $115,000. I knew it was
$115,000.
$115,000.
Okay.
My wife pulled the comps, comped out at $185,000 to $195,000.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and buy this deal, and we're not gonna wholesale it. We're gonna wholesale it because it's so beefy.
Okay, so let's back it up. How'd you find that deal?
So we got the deal off of Facebook.
Facebook ad.
Facebook ad.
And what that ad say? Do y'all remember what the ad said?
Sell your house fast, going through a divorce, pre-foreclosure. The same thing we just talked about earlier.
Now, is that one ad, or you got a bunch of different ads that are just popping?
We just have one ad right now that we run around Lafayette.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what we got.
Somebody called you?
Yes, somebody called me.
Nobody's going to see this. These people won't see it. I know you're a little worried about that right now. And they call you up and they say, right? Was it? I saw the look, man. And this is the skills, okay? He's talking about the biggest risk, he said from the first segment was, man, you need skills, okay? Which actually is not a risk, right? But you need skills. My skill is this. I saw him for a second say, oh my God, I wonder if this deal's in play right now. Are they going to see this, know I'm making 70 grand, they're going to pull out of the deal, right? Yeah. I can read people. So you ran a Facebook ad, hey, are you in a jam? I'll help you out.
Correct.
They respond. Who took the phone call?
I took the phone call.
Okay.
We booked an appointment, went sit with her, me and my wife. We sat down with her for like an hour.
Probably did the comps on your way over there. You got an address.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Got an address. She pulled the comps.
So you're like, hey, there's a play here.
Yep.
She pulls the comps. Hey, there could be 50, 60 grand made here.
Yep.
You went to the location?
Went to the location.
Okay.
Sat down with her, asked some, real strategic questions. What's going on? How can we help her? And we found out basically that she needed to move to Tennessee like right away. Her whole family was in Tennessee.
I got some apartments for her. Tell her I'm renting an apartment when she gets there.
So she needed to move fast, right?
So you qualify her.
I qualified her. I found out, made sure she had enough equity. The house, I believe, was free and clear.
Oh, wow.
So I knew there was a deal.
Well, you were sitting there just getting all excited. Huh?
Yeah, and so basically I sat down with her and I just really listened, Grant. I listened to her and I try to connect with her and see what's going on and how can I help her.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you are helping.
Yeah, absolutely, you are helping. I have people cry at the closing table every other week.
There's nobody else driving over there trying to buy her house
right.
so she can get to Nashville.
Exactly, and she needed to sell like within a week or two. She didn't have time to listen with a realtor and for 2 or 3 months sit and possibly not sell it.
Well, it would take them 30 days just to get a list, just to put a sign in the yard.
Yeah, and the financing.
Yeah.
So it takes the time. So I was able to get her house under contract for $115,000. The house.
He's proud of this deal too.
The house needs a zero work. It's almost brand new construction.
Okay, so you're looking around. I mean, do you do some due diligence at some point?
We
like
walk
typically,
around.
do you bring in a professional due diligence? Check out the roofs or the plumbing or?
Once you do this for long enough, like I have,
you think you know what you're doing now.
You pretty much get a bearing of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, when you first get started,
wait till you miss one of those.
Yeah, when you miss it,
Oh, it's polyurethane plumbing.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've had that problem too.
Yeah.
So basically we got under contract for $115,000. We're going to close on it here next week.
You're gonna now the goal originally, the ad, when the ad went out, the goal was we're gonna flip this contract.
Right.
You got in there and you're like, we're not flipping this.
No.
Well, you are flipping.
Well,
You're flipping it to yourself.
Right. We're going to wholesale.
You want to own this. You're going to hotel it.
Yeah, because it doesn't need to be
Is
rehabbed.
that HOE tail?
Yeah.
Hotel. Now, what is it? What is hotel? How do you spell hotel?
HOE. Yeah, hotel.
Okay.
So a hotel is not a wholesale and it's not a flip. It's in between. The house is already rehabbed. The house doesn't need any work.
Okay.
I'm just going to buy it, throw it back on MLS, and get a full retail buyer to buy it.
Kevin O'Keefe's trying to call me from Morgan Stanley right now. It's fine now. It's fine. So what are you going to do? Let me understand. What are you going to do now? Why do you call this anything other than you're going to buy the freaking property?
Because you're not flipping the property. When you buy a flip, right? You buy it and you have to rehab it, and it's a long.
Why would I always have to rehab it?
Well, most of the time when you buy these houses heavily discounted, they're usually messed up. In a rare case like this, you hit a freaking gold mine like this, and where she's motivated, she has a problem, and she needs to sell fast, and the house doesn't need any work.
So you're just going to close with cash.
I'm going to close with cash.
You're going to go to the bank.
Yeah, and we're going to close on it.
Okay. And you're going to buy it as what? How are you going to buy this thing?
20-year mortgage.
Yeah.
And then we're going to throw it back on MLS.
Uh-huh.
and sell it to a full retail buyer. We're going to wait 2 or 3 months. If it doesn't sell to a full retail buyer, I'm just going to wholesale it to an investor for 150 or 145 and still make 15, 20 grand. But I'm going to try first to make the whole 65, 70 grand.
You're going to go for the retail.
Retail first.
Why finance it for 20 years?
Well, just to keep my note low.
Why not finance it for 30 years?
Typically I do it's all 20-year loans.
Yeah.
That's all. With the banks I deal with are all small community banks.
Okay, they want to do 20
Yeah, they do 20.
It's so dumb, dude.
Yeah.
If you're going to go bad, 20 years, 30 years, why don't you give me 50 years?
Yeah,
I'm going bad. What's the damn difference, you know? Like one thing I do, I talk to a bank about, I tell a bank, I said, look, I want interest-only loans on my deals, right? And they're like, we don't do that. I said, why not? You know, and they're like, we need you to pay down the deal. I said, I paid it down when I bought it, okay? The deal was $10 million. I gave you $3 million. I paid it down in advance. So the rest should just be interest only because we're already in the freaking game. But they're cowards. Yeah. So your goal now is to put a loan on it. You don't have the cash just to pay for it.
Yeah, we have the cash, but
why don't you just pay for it then?
I mean, we can, but we just use the bank's money. She told me she needed 30 days to get out of it. So if she told me I need to get out of it in a week or two,
you would just cut her a check.
Yeah, cut her a check. But just use the bank's money. Yeah. If you can, you know.
Are you going to use 100% of the bank's money, or are you going to?
The bank gives me 80-20. I mean, it prays for 65 cents on the dollar, so I don't have to put any money down.
Yeah.
So.
And if it doesn't sell in 30 to 60 days,
I've already got it sold for an investor. If it doesn't, for 145.
Yeah. Okay. So look, this is flipping. Okay. Now, the downside of this game is, I don't know if he'll tell you this or if he's been through it. When the music stops, okay, and everybody looks for a chair to sit in, on that day, whatever inventory he's got, he needs to blow it out that day, okay? Whatever you can do. When the music stops playing in the real estate space, if you don't have income every month coming into you in excess of whatever your debt payments are and your expenses, the day the bad news hits, you better start blowing everything you have out. Now, in his case, you don't really, you just have a contract.
Right, but if I am going to hotel or flip, I only flip or hotel what I can rent out. You understand? That's my hedge.
Yeah.
You know, that's
but in most cases, you don't have any liability here.
No, in most cases I would.
Except
I would just
the ad.
Yeah, the ad,
the time
and
the energy.
The time and energy, really, and that's about it. And I love this business because it's a recession-proof business, Grant.
It gets better for you.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm crushing it in Lafayette right now because the economy is down with the oil and gas. You know that crashed in 2014. When the economy gets bad, the deals float to the top.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that. I mean, it's. So I mean, that's what I love about this business. Like you said, the music's gonna stop soon. Yeah, it's coming. We know that.
Whenever. I mean, when it stops.
So what?
When it stops, it's not gonna feel whether it was soon or long or whatever. It's gonna be like, oh damn, the music stopped.
Right.
It gets quiet in the room and everybody's sitting in their chair and they're holding on to their chair and shit. It's crazy, right? Yeah. So you got to be ready at that point. By the way, you need to everybody out there. You need to figure out something to sell. Now I know people are talking about go sell some pair of tennis shoes on eBay, but what are you going to make? $10, $80? This guy's making. What's the biggest score you made in a deal?
Made $79,000 on a wholesale deal.
I mean, look. If I'm going to spend time, energy, effort, spend time away from my wife and my kids, I want to make 79 grand, not 79 bucks. Chris, how can people? How can you help people, man?
So reach out to me. You can go to my website at chrisrood.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. Shoot me an inbox. We can get in contact and see if you're a good fit for my program. I mean, everybody should learn this art. I mean, it's the art of capturing value. If you're going to be a true real estate investor, it teaches your brain.
It's a really capitalist. It's an entrepreneur. It's a kind of hybrid between the entrepreneur and a capitalist and a real estate guy. Okay, I guarantee you, Chris and his wife, in the future, will leave this game because they're going to build up their stockpile enough to end up investing in big apartment complexes. Okay, all wholesalers end up where I am. Okay. Yep. They end up, because you want to get out of this grind, right?
It's a grind.
It is a grind.
It is.
But what do you think you'll make this year?
We should do about $750,000 this year.
$750,000. Dropped his old franchise, dropped the Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube, Quickie Lube?
Yeah, Quick Lube.
Quick Lubes don't last long, okay? All right, my name's Grant Cardone. This was Ask the Pro with Chris Rood. His website, chrisrood, ROOD.com. 36 years old, making some money in the real estate space without putting himself on credit lines, without a bank line, All right, put with no liabilities, no risk, but he is hustling to get it done. Flipping deals, wholesaling. Watch this again. Okay, I'll walk you through the different steps, the things you have to do. Robert, you want to get in the wholesaling business, man? Maybe. Man, I might want to get one of these deals. Okay.
I'm working a 100-unit apartment complex right now.
Dude, I'll play with you on that deal. Okay, I can flip that deal. Okay, are they in trouble?
Well, he's old. He's about 60, 80. He's burnout.
Dude,
Burnout
I'm
landlord.
60. I'm 60. You saying I'm old? What you saying about me, man? This is just wrong, man. Okay, look, if you have questions for Chris, post them in the comments. If you like this kind of content, make sure you hit like. If you hadn't subscribed to the YouTube channel, the podcast you're listening to, or the Stitcher, stitch it up. YouTube it out. Like me, subscribe to me, play with me. I want to help you help your family and make your dreams come true. Chris, again, thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Grant.
Okay?
Appreciate it.
All right, good dude. Thanks for watching Ask the Pro.